Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first week of the Bush League. That's correct. This is a weekly tournament, I guess you could say, weekly series of games. It's a single game, one whole game, and there's four teams. Four teams, and it is going to be pretty darn cool. Single game. It happens weekly. It's run by Trolls GG, GankBush Sqyad, and I believe Nexus Commentaries. Between the three of those guys, they are throwing together this small little series of events that are going on. And from what I can tell, the names are fun. The amount of players that are playing, pretty good. Like, just the names I recognize. So it's a fun event. It's a lot of the people from Creators of the Storm and the people who are part of those small communities. So we're going to get underway and make sure that these guys are all ready to go, and we will get it started. I am excited to get it going. Oh, looks like we are ready to go. Start that game up, and we will be flipping right over into draft here as it gets going. Looks like we're going to be on Dragonshire to start off with. And hopefully the game is loud enough. But we have Team 4 versus Tower Baron Sqyad. And we'll get into all these team players and stuff like that when the game gets underway. But first week, I am very, very happy to have been asked to cast for these guys. As far as I understand, I will be doing week 1, 4, and 7. And the funny thing is that somebody had pointed this out when I was on the GankBush Sqyad's stream, their podcast a couple weeks ago, that weeks 1, 4, and 7 happened to be the exact same teams facing each other. So it's just small, funny thing that happened here and there. But it's I just think it's pretty funny. But we're gonna have Team 4 versus Tower Baron Sqyad in this first game, and map was picked by Team 4. Very first ever Bush League. Yep, that is very true. Maev gonna be banned out by Tower Baron Sqyad. They don't want to deal with that rotation heavy hero who's gonna be able to deal with that. Those like big picks, especially on those tiny areas around the shrine captures. Heroes like Diablo are going to shine in these kind of situations. Tight spaces, big walls to hit people off of, big CC, and then you put in on top of that the Warden's Cage from Maev. It becomes absolute hell. So Maev being banned out. I like this ban. Still pretty good hero. Is it worth first ban? It's still debatable. She's still looking very good, however. Team 4 holding that ban out to the very, very last couple of seconds. They're going to go with Phoenix. Now, Phoenix, pretty new into the Nexus, has been out, I believe, for the 2 weeks at this point now. So he is pretty much HGC playable, or very close to. That is something to point out. These are HGC map pools, and a reasonable amount of heroes. I believe the 2-week notice. But Phoenix banned out. As far as I can tell, he's looking pretty good. His damage output is nuts, and Planet Cracker is hilarious. It's actually viable, which I thought was interesting. But it clears waves. It's pretty much what Dragon Strike should have been, and yeah. So he's gonna be banned out. I like these two bans. These are the two newest heroes to the Nexus, which is pretty funny. That they're actually being first banned, where they... First pick over on the side of Tower Baron Sqyad will be Greymane, however. I like Greymane pick. Safe pick. Good for camping. Good for team damage. Cocktail build is not as... not as prominent as it was in the past, but is still looking pretty good. You can pick it up, those talents at level 1 and 7, and you can still get pretty big splash and some good bang for your buck. It's really good against some big backline heroes, such as like mages, Kael'thas and such. I think this Greymane will be used for the camps, however, and just general rotation, good wave clear. Also, potentially for ganks. First pick we're looking at over on the side of Team 4 is going to be Garrosh and Stukov. Garrosh has been seeing a lot of play recently. I think a lot more in the Korean meta, if I'm not mistaken. But Garrosh, Stukov, one of the best tanks, Stukov, one of the best supports, rather, I should say, in the meta right now. Pretty good. That AoE silence just does absolute monstrous amounts of work. Garrosh being able to flip and throw people is also quite good, especially with that silence. We're going to see Medivh and ETC. ETC, very great kit, good stuns, good peel, just an overall well-rounded tank. And Medivh, as far as I know, is one of the best counters to Garrosh play, so I like this pickup. Now, with that rework, he is capable of doing quite a bit of damage now, especially if you do pick up that the explosion, Arcane Explosion, I think? At level 7, it's where the shields explode for 100% and then, like, a whole bunch of other damage. So, which is nuts, because if you absorb a ton of damage, you just explode a ton of damage. So, very good talent. I thought it was a little bit weak, but apparently not. And, of course, Medivh's damage is really good, and just being able to get out of those Garrosh pulls. Now, it is a little bit longer, however, the portal timer, so you're still looking at, like, a 20-second cooldown, 16 maybe? I think 16 seconds sounds about right. And then we're going to be seeing the Lily ban from Team 4, maybe a target ban? I don't know how Lily does right now in the meta. I like her little bit of a talent rework on that W, where you pop out a dragon and then you get a wind out of that as well. So a little bonus damage, a little bit of a blind. And we're going to be seeing that Tracer ban, despite the Tracer changes. We won't say nerfs or anything like that, but anything. And holy moly, Fringe average with the big 1,000 bits. Thank you so much. That's it's overwhelming. Thank you. Appreciate that, man. All the way. Welcome to the #1 spot on the board. So, as I was saying, the Tracer is, despite those, despite those changes that she got, she's still very, very strong. However, I like it. Typically a lot stronger with the, Malfurion. Now, we did have a follow, but I don't actually have that on here, so we can throw that on here. What am I saying? So I think that it's an interesting ban, not necessarily required, but still pretty good. We're going to be seeing Blaze and Hanzo. Hanzo, I love Hanzo on this map, purely because of the camp clear, and just, again, with the tight spots, those scatter arrows just do so much damage. It's absurd, the amount of value you can get out of Hanzo. Now, I enjoy playing Hanzo a lot, but I haven't done very well with him. Now, there are some people like Crowan, who's 15 or 16-0 in HGC right now. Absolutely monstrous Hanzo player, and just a great value for that hero. Just great hero in general. Blaze, another one of the newest heroes coming into the Nexus. Just fantastic self-sustaining and solo laner. He's going to be going up against the new pick over here on the side of Tower Baron Sqyad in the form of Leoric, most likely. And then we're going to be looking at that Malfurion. Now, I'm looking over on the side of Tower Baron Sqyad, and I'm looking at that draft, and I say, that's a lot of beef and a lot of damage negation, but not so much damage output. Now, you're going to have to rely on Greymane for a lot of that kill potential, a lot of that main poke damage, and then Medivh for the rest of it. Now, keep in mind, Medivh does require, I believe, 40 stacks on that Master's Touch quest, which is baseline now. So, you're going to be looking to get those as soon as possible. And with a Hanzo, you're most likely not going to be able to get it on that. And we're still waiting on this last pick. Both teams with strong solo laners. I think Leoric wins that matchup if he is able to land that that spoopy hand there, the Drain Life. With the big 69 bits here from Grizzly that says Fringe smells. I love it. It's beautiful. Final pickup, Jaina. I like the Jaina pick. Gives you some wave clear, some good burst combo with that Garrosh. Let me think. Okay, so I'm looking at these team comps, and I think Team 4 has Team 4 has maybe the better draft, better wave clear, good camps, a lot more damage. I think the silence of Stukov is very, very, very good, very strong. However, Malfurion does have that as well. You're going to be looking for those roots and the follow-up stun, or the stun and then to the roots from that ETC Malfurion. Maybe even look for a big Entomb, and maybe even a ley line for the Entomb, or a ley line into a Mosh. Should be looking for some big combos coming out here. Let's make sure we change over onto this. Get that Bush League logo in that bottom corner here. That's right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this game underway. This is going to be game number 1 on Dragonshire. Game number 1, the very first game of the Bush League. Let's get this underway. On the left-hand side in the blue, we have Team 4. We're going to have Liquid playing that Garrosh, Lord Boo on that Blaze. Schizophrenic going to be playing Hanzo. Ender on that Stukov. And Daz going to be playing that Jaina. Over on the right-hand side in the red, we have Tower Baron Sqyad. We have Super Dave on Greymane. Zunicorn playing that Leoric. San playing the ETC. Fringe Average on that Malfurion. And unfortunately, I can't see who is on the Medivh, but it will be played by Grizzly64. We already got a 4v5 here. Team 4 going to be sending 4 members, and that's exactly why their name is Team 4. Just so you guys know, for sure. That's why it is. Totally. We're going to be looking to clear that out. Leoric makes his way up to the top. This is to be expected. Just go up there, get the soak. Jaina going to be able to clear up those waves. Greymane's going to be looking for that engage with that Worgen form. Now, look for this Garrosh to position and look for a throw. However, Medivh is still there. Going to be able to negate a lot of that damage and a lot of that synergy. We get the toss onto ETC. Not necessarily the best of targets, as Liquid already sitting at around half health. Going to be relying on some heals there from that Stukov. Both teams are able to clear this out pretty easily, but we're going to be looking for Jaina to clear out the lanes. Thank you guys for the bits and everything like that. Greatly appreciated as always. Stukov going to be clearing out that wave. Jaina going to be clearing out the middle lane. Let's take a look at some talents. Make sure I actually click the right ones. Yes, good. So we are looking at a Q build, Winter's Reach. So it's very interesting to say. No orbs at level 1 for Daz here. Very interesting. Silence not going to do too much there from Stukov. However, it's pretty much just zoning. We get a big toss onto the minion there from Liquid. Not going to do too much for his team. Hanzo picking up that Scatter Arrow build as predicted. Probably going to grab that at 1, 4, and 7. Just looking for a couple of stacks here. Liquid looking for a toss right into that Hanzo arrow. Going to be going down and sliding away. No follow-up there, unfortunately. Really relying on Jaina for that burst damage. And that's going to be Hanzo grabbing that bottom shrine as 4 members of Tower Baron Sqyad make their way up to that mid lane. And then continue on this rotation. ETC should be looking for the Hanzo or the Jaina here. Looking for a big power slide. Now we're going to be seeing Greymane and team grabbing that siege camp here. This is exactly what you expect. Very meta of the GankBush Bush League and Trolls GG teams. They both have, or I know at least Trollin Blizz does, or Trolling HGC has their very meta HGC teams, and, sorry, podcasts rather, and they talk very meta. So this doesn't surprise me to be seeing some high quality gameplay. We got the chat calling out the players. What is this? I know you guys are all friends and such, but come on. We got Blaze and Stukov up in the top lane, looking to probably just clear that out as the minion comes to take on Liquid on that point. Good thing that the minions cannot capture the point. because otherwise Liquid would be looking in some trouble. However, Greymane looking to engage. Power Slide is missed by ETC. The toss onto the Cow, I believe, or actually onto the Greymane. But, wow, look at that. Hanzo going to be able to grab that Dragon Knight in the middle. Grizzly unable to interrupt. And this will allow Team 4 to start pushing into the mid lane. The Cow getting punted away. Will Power Slide, but not before taking 2 tower hits, putting him down to half health. Gonna have to self-heal there. Dragon Knight already looking to be taken down. Gonna have to try and get away from that root. Will he land into the root? No, he will not. Gonna be able to get in there. Get a couple of stacks along the way. And maybe look for a big toss onto the Medivh. But however, that will not be the case. Jaina gonna be grabbing these Siege Giants here. Both teams are rather close to level 7. We'll hold this up, these talents here. Take a look. It looks like Greymane going to be going for that auto attack talent. ETC already sitting at 13 out of the 25 globes required. Pretty standard talent picks, I would say, from every single hero. Q build, very standard on that Jaina. As you see, Q, Q, Q. Scatter Arrow build as well. I imagine at level 7, we'll be picking up that other Scatter Arrow and be able to go grab those Bruisers whenever. Only 11 stacks, however, for this Medivh. Going to be looking for a little bit more later into this game and hopefully not falling. Want to get as much bang for your buck there on that hero. Now, you can get those free stacks onto the Stukov, but unfortunately, Grizzly is going to be missing that. Hanzo getting a little bit of poke damage in here. Actually, quite a lot. Getting some good damage there. Super Dave getting quite low. Going to rely on the heals of Malfurion. However, there are no follow-up fights for Malfurion to get that much healing. Bruiser camps in the top lane will be taken down. Thank you for the follow there. Will be taken down as Lord Boo will be facing Zunicorn up here. Zunicorn looking to try and push that lane out as well. Dragon Knight will be up in about 30 seconds. That's a big silence onto those middle minions there. They'll feel that in the morning. Tower Baron Sqyad going to be going down into here to grab that bottom Bruiser camp. This is an excellent opportunity for Hanzo to grab those Scatter Arrow stacks there. Bush League, yes. Bush League! ETC with the big Power Slide onto those minions, and the silence coming out as well, and Jaina looking for those quick clears on the camps, and that's exactly what they will be able to get. And the Medivh going to be looking for a couple of stacks there, and that's a big damage onto Hanzo, forcing him to tap right now, and will be topped up by that Stukov. Bottom Shrine and Top Shrine both being held by the side of Tower Baron Sqyad. Zunicorn still dueling the Blaze up in the top lane as Liquid looks to defend that middle, is successfully able to do so as the bottom will be captured by the side of Team 4. 4 members looking to go onto the, whoo boy, onto the Garrosh Liquid with a perfectly timed Indomitable there, I believe is what it's called, right? Is that what it's called? Yes, Indomitable. Denying the ETC stun. Will tap, however, and then back. So I'm gonna call you out on that, Liquid. If you're gonna back, don't bother tapping. Now you have a 120-second cooldown. Come on, man. It's because your friend looking for a little bit of poke damage onto that ETC will not be successful in doing so, as both of these shrines are now being held by the side of Tower Baron Sqyad. But Team 4 will send their members into the middle. I feel like I've mixed up these teams already. That's okay. Greymane and ETC into the mid lane. Making quick work of those minions. As Garrosh looks to come up and join the fight. Maybe looking for a quick toss and stun combo. Now getting big ley line coming out. Gonna hit the Stukov. Out comes the Mosh Pit. But the Ring of Frost looking to deny that as well. Fringe unable to move in. Twilight Dream not being used here. Oh, why am I unable to see the cooldowns? Interesting. That is very interesting. I need to take a look at that. So I'm actually unable to see the cooldowns of the abilities here. So that's maybe a bug. But we have Garrosh getting stunned by the ETC. Great follow-up route by Fringe there. That means Liquid will be falling. That's first blood. First blood. 8 minutes into the game still. Not too bad. Beautiful combo, though, on the side of Tower Baron Sqyad earlier there with that big ley line, the Mosh Pit. I think the Twilight Dream went off. I'm not too sure. It's hard to say. Everybody's constantly criticizing. Perfect. Beautiful. ETC looking to grab that shrine in the middle. Unfortunately, will not be able to do so. Hanzo going up and ganking Zunicorn. Leoric will fall, and this means that both shrines will now be held by the side of Team 4. Looking to try and maybe grab the bottom lane, maybe clear up those siege that siege camp, as Daz gonna hearth back and grab some mana, makes way into the team in the mid lane, and help poke out that objective. Now Liquid gonna be trying to channel that. Unfortunately, will be interrupted by the I can't think of the word, but just the cow being there. The big power slide and the stun will, or the boop will go out. Leoric will be able to take down Blaze in the top lane, granting Tower Baron Sqyad the cap on the top shrine. Tower Baron Sqyad looking to make their way into this bottom lane now, finally cleaning out these siege camps, but not before losing both towers down there. Medivh making his way in, will be looking to get stunned. Unfortunately, not going to go out. Out comes a big Ring of Frost, landing on, I believe, 3 or 4 members, but unfortunately will be leylined for that follow-up damage. Out goes the Greymane, I believe, the go for the throat. Not going to be able to pick that up. Leoric coming in from behind, maybe looking for a big entomb. Do we have it? We do have entomb. Big mosh pit, great mosh pit. Picks up that Garrosh, and down goes the Stukov. Daz looking for a little bit of extra damage as well, but Medivh, with those shields, will be able to deny the Jaina damage. Both shrines now being held by the side of Tower Baron Sqyad, and just as I say that, the top will be taken back by Team 4. We do have a disconnect, but I'll let them be the deciding on the pauses or not. Looks like he's back. He's dead. No, he's not dead anyway. Both shrines now being held by Tower Baron Sqyad, and Grizzly on the Medivh will be able to grab that middle shrine. This means the Dragon Knight now will go over to the side of Tower Baron Sqyad. Grizzly going to be looking to pile out the damage on that middle. The Indomitable going to be able to deny that root. Great use of those buttons. Cooldowns in the talent pane. Maybe. Maybe. We'll wait for a big cooldown. That's something interesting I just noticed, though. But thank you. Big scatter arrow there, looking for a little bit of bonus damage on that. This middle tower will definitely be going down. Ring of Frost goes up. No follow-up combo, though, unfortunately. Now Daz being pushed back from the Greymane. Down goes the go for the throat. Unfortunately, will not be taken. Down goes the Garrosh. The Entomb grabbing a couple of his own team members as well. And we do have the Dragon Arrow going out, but unfortunately not going to be able to save any of his members. Garrosh, Jaina falling here. Dragon Knight gonna get that mid wall, maybe, if the team does decide to push in 4v2 here. However, they opt to not do that, back off, play it safe, maybe grab the opposing team's siege camp, and that is the case. So unfortunately, we can't see the cooldowns in the talent pane either. What happens if I press tab and go to talents? Nope, can't see anything. That's very interesting. And I'm not on as like a spectator, I'm on as a referee, so that's something very, very interesting to see. I don't know. Schizophrenic on that. Hanzo going to be looking to clear up that camp pretty quickly. Maybe go and grab that top bruiser. Help Blaze out a little bit. Bottom bruiser's being grabbed, though, by the side of Tower Baron Sqyad. Pretty simply to do that. The moshes have been very good by the side of Tower Baron Sqyad. San, doing a great job there. Daz looking to get a little bit of shields by clearing out that camp with the help of Liquid. We're still looking for a bunch of tosses here, but Medivh looking to probably counter out that push. Level 16 now being reached by the side of Tower Baron Sqyad. They are looking good right now. They have a half a level lead. Camp advantage. Greymane gonna have to be going on and grabbing those.
I like it.
Thank you for that follow. 3 members, all 5 members actually, in the top portion of the map on the red team, as we have Team 4 looking to push this bottom fort out. Unfortunately, Liquid getting some tower shots there. Not going to get too much value as Medivh, the spooky bird, comes down from above, scouts that out, forces the opposing team back. They don't have Blaze, so They don't want a 5v4 in that case. They'll play it safe, back out. Shrines are going to be up very shortly. Daz nearly done with that baseline quest of his. Potential mosh pit coming out here from Sand, looking to pick up that Garrosh, but the Entomb will be more than enough to secure that kill. Blaze a little late on that bunker, unfortunately. Will not be able to save the Garrosh, and unfortunately, Blaze will fall as well. Double kill in the mid lane for the side of Tower Baron Sqyad. And what was looking like a pretty even game in the beginning is now slowly turning around in favor of Tower Baron Sqyad. Medivh looking for that portal, try and get out. Silence goes down, unfortunately not going to be able to get too much value. Medivh does get into bird form and will be making his way in. Big power slide onto the Jaina, the triple ley line with the mosh pit being popped a little bit early. Ring of Frost does go out, despite being I guess it was out of the mosh pit, actually. So unfortunately not lining that combo up just right, but Greymane going to be able to pick up that double kill. Jaina completing the quest. Great Ring of Frost by Daz there. Unfortunately, not going to pan out for his team. He does finish the quest, which is nice, but not going to work out in his team's favor. Tower Baron Sqyad, Leoric, Zunicorn going to be able to grab that dragon in the mid lane here and then be making their way into this middle keep. Now, they already had the wall down, so I would be looking for maybe the keep in here. However, bottom lane is the priority on this map purely because of the amount of camps in that bottom lane. There are 3 there. Pushing out that middle lane would be the best case scenario. However, the Dragon Knight sitting at 15 minutes is going to be able to do some pretty big work onto this mid keep. They are going to be a level and a half up after grabbing that, and then they're going to probably want to make their way down to this bottom keep, maybe grab the bottom wall. Dragon Knight is tanking the keep at this point, but will be looking to try and get out from that wall. It's going to be taking a lot of damage here, most likely going to be falling. Root goes out to deny the engage here from the side of Team 4. They're going to play it safe. They don't even have the bottom fort yet. They're going to be maybe looking to try and grab a little bit of damage there. Play it safe, you know, just back up. No need to overextend. You guys have a pretty hefty lead sitting at almost 2 levels. Mercenary camps are up. Hanzo can make real quick work of that. Just jumps over the wall. Gonna let Jaina go and grab it. I like hearing Tower Baron Sqyad, says Tower Baron. Big engage, actually very aggressive play coming out from Team 4 here. Moving into the opposing team's siege camp. Just saying, hey, guess what? We have more damage than you. This is our camp. Move in, quickly grab that thanks to Hanzo scatter arrows. And Tower Baron Sqyad just walks out. No engage. Now, I don't know the cooldowns, unfortunately, because I can't see them, and this is actually bugging me. So, I'll have to take a look at that. As level 20 is picked up, let's take a look at those talents here. Twilight Dream talent being picked up, level 20, for the side of Fringe there. Big silence, or rather big Entomb comes out, but whoo! An even better ley line. Great Ring of Frost from Daz. The toss on to the ETC. Big Sonic Arrow coming out. Lord Boo, unfortunately, a little bit short there on the stun. Will allow Zunicorn to escape. Fringe! What the hell was that, Fringe? Come on! He uses the bolt to get away, but unfortunately will end up wasting that full cooldown. Daz would like this. The Twilight Dream being popped for no reason. Little throwback there for you guys. That's a big cooldown, and I don't know if Team 4 is aware that Fringe has popped that Twilight Dream. That's a pretty big cooldown to keep in mind. Pretty big turn of events in that bottom lane. Walking away with that 1 for 0. And still being a talent down without those level 20s. Blaze going to be the one to hearth back and try and defend the core. They won't lose the shields, it looks like. We'll be able to defend that. Move in, get the clear here. It looks like he's popping that increased auto attack and movement speed. Medivh scouting out the remaining 4 members. A little bit of B-stepping going on. But it looks like we are moving in with a vengeance. Looking for a potential slow and a damage reduction. Big Entomb onto Daz. Daz looking to try and get out. Big stun, though, from the Blaze. Silence going on to the ETC. ETC will get thrown back. The ley line does come out. Down goes the Stukov. The bunker from Blaze not going to be Let's get going. We are going back to Dragonshire. Alright, welcome back to Dragonshire. Oh my god. Kappa. Alright guys, we have FTBRG versus Please Don't Ban Diablo. I'm getting ready. This is, both of these teams are a mouthful, so they're pretty much just gonna be, blue and red. Map picked has been selected by Please Don't Ban Diablo. PDBD? Yeah? So they're gonna be picking the map, and, FTBRG will have first pick. Now, nobody specified who, wanted the crown, so I just kind of gave them to whoever, and went like that, and we went. So, right off the bat, the Please Don't Ban Diablos, gets Diablo banned against them. How appropriate, of course. Makes sense to me. I mean, ban Phoenix. There you go. Phoenix banned. Looks like some freebies right off the bat here. I like these. I actually really like Diablo on this map because as previous explanations were said. First pick, though, gonna come out as Maiev. So we didn't get to see Maiev last game because she was first banned. I do like Maiev. In the tight areas, she works really well in those, like, quick team fights and stuff. Just being able to, like, tether people and pull them back in, just, especially with good follow-up, is just nuts. I think Garrosh works really well. You get somebody escaping, you throw them back in. You know, just a pretty good synergy. So I would like to see maybe a Garrosh come out on the side of FTBRG. But for the side of Please Don't Ban Diablo, we have Thrall and Malfurion. Now, Thrall did go through a couple of changes on that Q talent, did nerf the Crash Lightning talent. Now, usually Thrall was considered a solo laner, but as soon as Crash Lightning became meta, we saw Thrall become more of a 4-man rotation hero. And that's what he's going to be looking for today. So this might change the strategy on the side of FTBRG. For the case of maybe they don't want to group up. Maybe they look to go for a 2-1-1? Sorry, a 2-1-2 instead. 500 bits from Fringe. Just tossing in the bits. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciated, as always. Go team, please don't ban Diablo. It says Sinful Sloths. See, the Johanna pick, as well as the Lucio. I like Lucio. Lucio, very good for the rotations. You can technically not have to worry about rotating, I suppose. Mounting. Because you can use that E to rotate in between. Pretty good. Lucio just really good on those rotations. I like the Lucio pick. Johanna, I think Johanna may be a little bit of an early pick. To me, Johanna's kind of one of those just like fits in to any team comp and just kind of does everything okay. She doesn't really specialize in one specific thing. I know, we're the villains here, oh boy. Dahaka being banned out on the side of Please Don't Ban Diablo. I really like this. Bam Bam Light, yeah. I really like this ban here. I think Dahaka is a phenomenal pick on this map. Just a great solo laner. Just a good hero in that top lane. And then on top of that, that global ability. Just being able to move from top to bottom in such like, in just a swift click of a button. Just such a good pick. Tracer ban on the other side here, coming out from FTBRG. I like this ban, purely because the opposing team still lacks a little bit of damage and has Malfurion. Malfurion and Tracer still synergize very well together. It makes it even worse if you throw on a Tassadar on there as well, but gonna get rid of that hero. Don't want to deal with it. Sounds good to me. Garrosh Hanzo being picked up there on the side of Please Don't Ban Diablo. We saw the Garrosh plays come out last game from Liquid on the side of Team 4. I like Garrosh. Garrosh being played a lot recently, as I mentioned prior, in the Korean meta, as I do believe that is what it is. Hanzo, great hero overall. I love me some Hanzo. Scatter Arrow build team seems to be the go-to here on this map. Great camp clear. Great, just great wave clear. Good poke damage. Just get that piercing arrow. Oh, baby. Just the amount of damage you can do is pretty crazy. They are still missing a solo laner. Both teams are missing solo laners. So I expect maybe a form of a range damage and a solo laner. Maybe a Blaze coming out here on the side of FTBRG. But we're going to be seeing Alarak and Li Ming. Now, again, I think Alarak is seen as a solo laner, but functions better in a 4-man. Especially if we do pick up those stacking talents, those quests at level 1 and 4. Requires heavily on those big grouped team fights. Going to be looking for those triples, quads. Well, not so much quads are required. Johanna does have the ability to pick up a quad in the form of Subdue, I do believe is what it is called. But Alarak most likely going to be that solo laner for the side of FTBRG. Now, I'm not 100% confident on that, because you're still picking this ahead of the opposing team's solo laner. I don't know how Alarak faces up against a lot of the more common solo laners, such as, you know, who are still available. Blaze, Malthael, Sonya, those 3 in particular. So, something to keep in mind, and this is probably what this last pick is going to be. I imagine it would be, at least. Looks to me like we're going to go with a Varian, though. Varian. Heroic at level 4. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. The amount of value you can get from this hero now, it went from, you know, being absolutely, utterly useless until level 10. Now just an absolute powerhouse in the early game. Getting taunt at level 4 is nuts. So you got the double taunts, the Earthquake or the Thunder, the Roots, just a big CC coming out on the side of Please Don't Ban Diablo. Make sure we change the... Look at that. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Change over there. I don't have team logos, unfortunately. So I'll make sure I get those in for the next time. Zex repping the Chen as per usual. If I'm not mistaken, he is quite the Chen fan. And the rest of the team with that Lucio and Lucio. They have Lucio on their team. That's Brightwing. Brightwing with that knife, the butter knife, I believe it is. And then, of course, Please Don't Ban Diablo. Repping those Diablo Carbot portraits. Beautiful synergy. I love it. All around. A+, A+. But we're going to be getting on to game number 2 of Bush League. Week 1. This is the first time these teams are going to be facing each other. Let's get it underway. On the left-hand side in the blue, and will be referred to as the blue team from here on out, we have FTBRG. Hashtag FTBRG. We have Blood Scythe on that Li Ming. We got True Mr. Fu on the Alarak. Zexer is going to be playing that Johanna Leviathan on the Lucio, and Rosai on that Maiev. Over on the right-hand side in the red, we have Please Don't Ban Diablo. We have Grizzly64 filling in for the side here on Hanzo. Tower Baron gonna be playing... Who's Tower Baron playing? That Malfurion. We got Ghost Bear on that Thrall. Blemsy on the Varian. And rounding it all up, we have Loxley. Gonna be playing that Garrosh. Loxley running into the Maiev. Getting stunned, however, is that Maiev trying to escape. Big damage from Li Ming as Johanna walks into the opposing team. Let's take a look at some talents here. We do go for that stacking quest. True Mr. Fu taking that 10% hit to sadism right off the bat, and then making his way up to the solo lane, which I find very interesting here. Not my necessary go-to. Level 1 coming out is going to be that High King's Quest. Li Ming looking for a little bit of poke damage. Does get it. Combo coming out from the Alarak onto Ghost Bear. Gonna be at a decent amount of damage. Loxley looking for that toss. Unfortunately, will not be able to get that. We have Lucio and Alarak up in the top lane. Li Ming and the Johanna in the center. Gonna be clearing up that minion wave. Looking for a couple of orbs. As red team, Please Don't Ban Diablo, does make their way down into the middle lane to get that soak. Looking for a toss potentially onto the Johanna. Johanna not necessarily the #1 target to toss because we do have that unstoppable. And you still do use that cooldown despite having the unstoppable. Looking for a toss here, looking for maybe a combo. Unfortunately, Loxley does not get that successfully. Will be booped by the Lucio and takes quite a bit of damage here. Lucio, however, taking the return amount of damage as Hanzo looking to stack that Scatter Arrow quest and is doing quite well. Varian in a little bit of trouble here. Doesn't have that parry protect at level 4 and will unfortunately fall here. But now Leviathan getting caught in that root will take quite a bit of damage as well. But Lucio is able to self-sustain. Pop that E a little bit. Loxley taking a ton of damage from that Li Ming. Blood Scythe looking to just kind of pop off, but now Zexorus getting very low. Will be hoping to be healed by that Lucio. Big tether there by Rosai as he's getting 1 stack there. Looking to potentially move in on that. Hanzo stunned from the Johanna and a little bit of slow there onto Garrosh. Horrible acronyms. I don't know. I don't actually know what FTBRG stand for. I don't want to Google it because apparently it was pretty bad. Both shrines are being held by the side of the blue team as they do look to try and get a little bit of poke damage here. Great zoning route there from Tower Baron. Unfortunately, actually, we'll get the double route. I didn't think it was going to hit anybody. Big damage from Blood Scythe there. Top shrine will be captured by Thrall, however. Colossus Smash being picked up by Varian. Let's go up into that top lane and take a look at this. Thrall not going to be close enough for a potential gank, and Blemsy does notice this. Potentially looking to back off, and he does do that indeed. Johanna scouting out the opposing team's siege camp, just making sure that they aren't on there. Big toss onto Leviathan. Unfortunately, the root's not going to be able to land there. Lucio will be able to dash away. Rosai potentially going in for a pull, but looks like the Colossus Smash will be enough to pick up that Alarak, and not first blood, will go over to the side there of Please Don't Ban Diablo, picking up that, oh my god, I'm going to miss all of the kills because I'm up in the other lane. Of course. Looks like Garrosh will fall in that bottom lane. Bottom will still be controlled by the blue team, and top lane will be controlled by red. Hanzo throwing out a couple of scatter arrows there, looking already pretty good, sitting at 13 of the 20 required. We do go for Echo of the Elements. This Thrall knew he was going to be in the solo. Does go for that solo laner talent in the form of Echo. Johanna coming up to help that top lane there. Looking to make their way onto that shrine. Now, Johanna can duel the Thrall. They'll both leave with, mediocre amount of health. Tether coming out from the Li Ming, and if I heard that correctly, Seeker? Yes, we do have Seeker. Root goes out, looking to potentially pick up that Lucio, and will not be successful and able to do so. Both shrines being held by blue team there for a short period of time before Loxley is able to grab that bottom one. Seeker getting some big value there already onto that Malfurion. Siege Camp will be pushing down this bottom lane for the side of Please Don't Ban Diablo. Thanks to that Hanzo being able to grab those camps with ease. Big stun there on to the Lucio as Loxley looks to move in and get a toss, but will be booped back from that Lucio. Big damage from that Hanzo. Fit Burger. Johanna potentially on the way down to help out the squad as they do look in for a big drag onto the double pull there. The big tether, the root onto the Maiev. And big toss there as well from the Garrosh, but Garrosh getting quite low, 70 health. Will he be able to walk away? Johanna chasing that kill down, will be successful in that those endeavors as Rosai hanging on by the skin of his teeth, and now Zexorus looking to try and get away. Will walk directly into that root, but will have no problems getting away as it is still a 4v3 in this bottom lane. Grizzly sitting at full health. Big Colossus Smash coming in onto the Johanna. But unfortunately, no follow-up there. And now Varian is the one to fall, as the Dragon Knight comes in with a potential punt, but Li Ming will be able to pick up that kill. Now, Lucio lagging a little bit on those talent picks, and there we do have that level 4 talent coming out now. Still waiting on that level 7 talent, as they are approaching level 10. Have quite the lead right now, saying they at a full level, and they're having this Dragon Knight, as we did miss that already. That'll be pushing out the bottom lane, getting that bottom wall, and potentially making its way up into the middle lane as well. But decides that maybe the bottom fort is worth a little bit more potential. Warden's Cage, great Blessed Shield to grab that Malfurion. And Malfurion will be falling, and following that will be Garrosh, as FTBRG, the blue team here, does look to make their way into that bottom fort. They are successfully able to do so, and then the Dragon Knight will fall. True Mr. Fu will be making his way back up to his true position in that top lane. Johanna, the one to go and start up the the siege camp. Not my number one choice, but the remaining members of your team are grabbing that bruiser in the bottom. Now, Johanna is able to grab the one of the two so far, and Lucio going to make his way in and help out the remaining health bar of that siege minion. Varian going to be left alone onto that siege camp there. Looks like the side of the blue team would like to invade, but it will be capped before that, and these siege minions will be dueling it out in the bottom lane. 3 members for the side of blue team. Blue team, yes. Yeah, Lord Boo, I don't think he picked it there. Take that away. Big Earthquake in that top lane to try and save his life. Unfortunately, will not be able to do so. Unfortunately, Earthquake will be used. Still can't see the cooldowns. I wonder why. But they're still sitting at a full level lead, pick up a free kill, and then make their way into this bruiser camp and potentially looking to defend the bottom, as this one lone siege minion is still pushing out that tower. Now, you see Lucio boop the siege minion away, looking to try and kite it around a little bit, get a little bit of poke damage on here. Hanzo does scout out Rosai there, as Li Ming is alone in the middle lane. Does need to be careful because Garrosh is lurking in the bush nearby. But the remaining members of the team is in the bottom, very close by. Now Alarak looking to be in quite the pickle if they do move in quickly. But he'll get the top cap rather, as the stun from Hanzo coming out. Looks like the Dragon Arrow being popped there onto the Maiev to interrupt and allow Garrosh and Thrall enough time to capture that top shrine. However, they do lose their Varian, as Varian does walk into a 1v3 confrontation there. Now we have the big Warden's Cage coming out again with the AoE taunt onto the blue team here. Garrosh looking to try and get away, but will be taken down by Li Ming, which means resets are coming out here. Will they be able to pick up that Hanzo? Indeed they do, with a big counter-strike there from True Mr. Fu. 2-for-0 trade in favor of the blue team here. What a great opportunity for them to pick up that double kill, the double shrines, and then the cap in the middle lane here. And now Maiev will be operating this Dragon Knight, looking to take down this middle wall and potentially that middle fort. Let's take a look at the amount of sadism. We're looking like we're sitting at 111%. If I'm not mistaken, that is how it is. Yes, 111%. Punting the Garrosh away, Loxley will be having to defend that top lane. It looks to me like the blue team here will be splitting its assets onto the top and middle lane. Dragon Knight and Alarak in the mid lane securing that fort, as the top lane is successful in grabbing that fort, as well as they look to maybe use the remaining health bar of this Dragon Knight on a keep wall. I would like to see them all group up here and go in for a big push. Alarak potentially looking for a big pull here. No, unfortunately, will not be able to get. Down goes the Blessed Shield. Loxley going to be trying to get away. Unfortunately, the Li Ming resets, getting a little bit of poke damage. Alarak going to be able to finish off that kill. The Earthquake goes out, but unfortunately not going to be able to do too much other than slow and be a little bit of an annoyance here. Not popped in time. Big punt from the Dragonite, going to be looking to get that damage away. Huge damage from Alarak as well onto that Hanzo, who was sitting at full health, but no longer is. Tether onto the Varian. Varian will be able to walk away as they are able to get about a third, roughly a third, almost half of that middle keep. Pretty successful push, I would say, for the blue team here, as they are able to get 2 forts and a mid-keep wall. And now they're going to have to be looking to try and defend that bottom lane. Rosai there on that. Maiev will be looking to try and clear that up, as Johanna, once again, wants to take on the siege camp with the help of Lucio. Lucio will be able to complete that quest there, sitting at about 12 minutes. Hanzo is able to scout out the opposing team on that Bruiser camp, but not too much he can do there. I believe he is done that Scatter Out quest. Indeed, he is. Colossus Smash lagging a little bit behind here. We'd be looking for a little bit more coming out of them, but they are 3 levels down here. Full talent tier, unfortunately. So that is something that they do need to be aware of. And if they're looking for a team fight, it's not now. They need a team fight before the opposing team hits 20, but after they get to 16. And this is where we're looking for a big toss from Loxley, but unfortunately not going to be able to land. Does hit that triple stun, however. Getting some quest acts here. Big Warden's Cage. Li Ming with the huge potential for resets here. Does get silenced from the Malfurion, but we're sitting at a potential 5-0 as Alarak absolutely cleans up the remaining members of the team there with a big triple kill. Li Ming resets, just doing absolute work. A little bit of B-steps from Zexorus here. They're looking to end the game, close out the game right here. GG's being called as the siege camp, along with the damage of all 5 members from the side of FTBRG, clean up the core. GG! Thank you, everybody. For those of you that stand by, let's go into the standby, and we'll get rid of this starting shortly because that's not what's happening. Thank you, everybody who came by today and said hello. This is the Bush League, and this is the first week. It's an honor to be able to cast the very first week. For those of you who do not know who I am Stixa, and I would greatly appreciate it if you did hit that follow button. Thank you to everybody who donated bits today. Hit the follow button, and shout out to all of you guys. Greatly appreciated. So nice to have you guys on here. Now, I do a bunch of other casting. We do stuff for NGS, Bush League. I've done Tespa, a little bit of Heroes of the Dorm. We used to do a little bit of Chair League as well. So you guys can catch my casts here throughout the week and a little bit of streams as well. So I'd love if you guys did come in, pop by, say hello, every now and then. But this is week number 1, Bush League. Catch this every week. This is what day's today? Monday? Today's Monday, right? Yeah. Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern, every week. There are 4 teams. They're going to be changing opponents every week. I somehow managed to get the exact same matchups every week 1, 4, and 7. I don't know how that panned out, but funny nonetheless. Once again, thank you to everybody who came by and watched this. Shout out to Trolls GG, GankBush Sqyad, and Nexus Commentaries for throwing this all together. It is a lot of fun. It's very lighthearted, friendly, little bit of smack talking here and there. It's a very tight-knit community here on in this Bush League, and thank you to everybody who came in and said hello. So that will be it for me. I will be signing out, but thank you, everybody. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful night.